Hey, what is up everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today we're taking a look at Polkadot, which is currently just consolidating. We had quite a slow weekend across the entire crypto board. However, now we have Monday and we have a lot of news to discuss. But before we jump into all of that, I want to ask you guys to check out the Discord down below. Now inside the Discord, you can copy my trades, you can copy my long-term portfolio, you can even copy all of the strategies that I personally use to trade. So yeah, make sure you join up. You can cancel at any time if you're not enjoying it. It will be the first link in the description. Now let's get back to the video. So whilst Polkadot might have just been consolidating over the weekend, we have a lot of news to discuss regarding the Bitcoin dominance and Bitcoin itself, which will highly reflect on Polkadot and its future price movements. So if we take a look at the chart here, you'll remember in the previous videos we were constantly talking about accumulations in this zone. We did, partially jump out of the zone, hit this resistance. I think this is the 0.786 level on the fib. We've since fallen back into the zone where accumulations are great again. Now in this entire green zone, I'd recommend accumulating Polkadot regardless of really where it stands in the green zone. If you're not in Polkadot yet, then this can be your first entry and you can just dollar cost average down at every major support that we have. However, I definitely think that Polkadot has a lot of potential this bull run, and even if it doesn't perform that well, it's still an easy 2.5-2x at least to the previous highs that we had here, not only in November but also in March of 2024. So I definitely don't think this is going to be the top of this run. I think we can go a lot higher, but even if that is the case and this is the top and we do sell here, it's still going to be just over a 2, nearly 3x really if we start to sell at $12. So that's all my thesis on Polkadot. But I also want to show you guys Bitcoin and Bitcoin dominance. So if you remember in the previous videos, we talked a bit about the heat maps. Over the weekend we did hit one of the liquidation zones, which was slightly lower. So let's take a look at that. You can see here we have the Binance chart, and we had a lot of liquidations building up right here on the 48-hour. We did clear those. It was like 56 million worth of leverage longs that we liquidated. We here just went up a bit and then crashed back down. Now we have a lot of liquidation shorts actually just in between 98 and roughly 99,000 right here, which also amounts to nearly $56 million worth. But we also have to take a look at the Bybit liquidations, because Bybit is a larger exchange than Binance, if you didn't know, for futures trading. So we can see Binance right here has $56 million worth, whereas Bybit has $65 million worth. So it's really important when looking at these liquidation levels to also remember that different exchanges have different traders with different amounts of longs and shorts, which amounts to different liquidations. So on Bybit you can see we had 2 long liquidation levels, one that got hit here as well at 96,000, similarly to Binance, but Binance's was more so over here. But we also have another building up here just under 96,000, which hasn't been hit yet. This is a very small development though, so this might fade away because we have another liquidation level here just below 98,000, whereas Binance's is roughly around this green zone right here, which is still roughly going to be $40 to $50 million worth on Bybit as well. Now these liquidation levels usually do work as magnets in the market, and you'll see how price comes down into them usually every time. If we usually get these two in between, then we can't really judge which one it's going to hit first. We just have to wait patiently. This one got hit, so now it must mean that this one is going to get hit, and that's sort of how we have to play it out. Now this is all on the 48-hour. Another one we have to look at is the 1 month chart. So we're going to take a look at Binance and Bybit again. On the Binance 1 month chart, we can see we have $180 million worth of liquidations. You can see we had a few liquidations here which got liquidated, a few here, but the most part has been building up here in the high 100,000. So we have a few at 110,000 right here, a few just below. This entire area is quite greenish yellow, so a lot of liquidations are building up here, which means a lot of shorts are entering the market, and usually the market needs more liquidity, so we end up clearing those shorts or longs if there is longs. But those longs have already been cleared out on the lower time frames, and now it looks like we should be able to clear all of these hopefully very soon. Now on Bybit's chart, however, we can see we have a lot more liquidations at $230 million worth. That's roughly 50 million more than Binance, which is crazy, absolutely insane. You can see we have a similar level here at 110,000, which has a lot of liquidations. This is going to be like 220, but we also have a level right here just under 95,000, and this actually has roughly 228 million, so the cap right here. So this poses the question, will we slightly dump lower, clear these liquidations first before we head higher to 110,000? Now you can see the 110,000 mark has been practically consolidated for a very long time. Ever since we hit the all-time high on Bitcoin, that's when it started. That's when a lot of shorts piled into the market, and they're yet to be cleared out. So I think we're definitely going to clear these out, hopefully, maybe if not this month, then definitely next month. Again, we are on the monthly chart here, and if that is the case, then it would be better for us to actually crash down, clear the 94,000 mark here initially before we head higher, because if we end up clearing this level first and then this level just grows and grows and grows, then it means we're going to eventually have to crash down and clear 95. And a crash from 110 back to 95, you know, it weakens the market a lot, and it makes people want to invest less, makes people want to pull out, which again can just crash the hopes of the bull market quite severely. So that's what we're going to be keeping an eye out for Bitcoin. And how that reacts to Polkadot, well, if the market goes up, then the market goes up, because if, you know, Bitcoin is flying, then Polkadot should also be flying to those levels. If Bitcoin goes back to its all-time high, I don't think Polkadot will necessarily fly to its previous high that we had right here, but I definitely think it has a potential to fly to at least this level right here at like $8.60, worst case like $8, which is nearly a 2x from here, 1.5x if it, you know, you're counting like worst case. We also have to take a look at Bitcoin dominance though. So Bitcoin dominance over the weekend was also consolidating. However, since its massive you know, pump, it has been crashing down, and I think this is definitely the top for dominance, at least this run. You know, this is a huge wick, and usually whenever we see a huge wick either to the upside or downside, it marks the top or bottom. In this case, it would be the top. If we take a look at the previous runs that we had, like here for example, and we go on the daily, we can see that similarly we had a very large wick created here before we had the ultimate crash down in 2021, which resulted in a very good alt season. You know, we had very similar events here with 2017, again in 2018. Every single time whenever we get these huge crashes, it always results from a very large wick, usually to the upside as well. So I think this is definitely going to be the top here on Bitcoin dominance, and we should see quite a good crash down. Again, the first level we have to fall down to is going to be roughly here at 54%. The next level is going to be here at like 50%, but as long as we break through this level and are able to enter in a downtrend, you know, this is essentially our higher low that we have, and if we can break the higher low and it create a lower low, then it means we should be able to just nicely trend down. A better case would obviously just be a quick flash crash down, altcoins moon, and we're able to sell, but either one is quite good. You know, whenever we get a huge flash crash down, it will result in similarly a flash pump like we've seen here, you know, in 2023 when dominance just started pumping up very quickly, not as quickly as it dumped, but still very quick. Whereas if it just trends down quite slowly, like here for example, you know, we see smaller trends down, it will take slightly longer to pump up. Still pumps up quite quick, but regardless, it's slower than these huge legs up. Now that all reflects back to Polkadot, as when dominance is falling, altcoins are usually thriving. So if you'll remember, you know, dominance chart was dumping when we were getting this pump, dominance chart was dumping when we got this pump, and so on and so forth. So if we're able to see BTC, you know, get through the amount of pain that it will over the next week, if it does crash below 95k, clears those liquidations, and then enters that uptrend, and dominance is able to start really crashing down, then I think we'll see altcoins, including Polkadot, really start to rally. And that's why I think it's really important to start to dollar cost average in now. If you're not in already, then start now. If you are in already, then just search for some lower entries. The way I usually like to do it is, you know, one entry, let's say we're at a current good market price, so I'd enter at market price. Second entry, $4.40, you know, and third entry you can enter at like $3.70 if that does come. That way you're prepared for the best and worst, and then just stake up your Polkadot. You know, stake it up on usually the best platforms where it possesses the best APR. There's going to be like a 1 month unlocking period, so if you lock it up and you see, you know, Polkadot starting to rally, just unlock it when it hits like $7.50, $8 if you're wanting to sell at 12. If not, and you want to sell higher, then just unlock, you know, like 50% until we're there. I think that's usually the easiest way to do it. If the market is showing good progress, then a 50% move would usually take a month, maybe less, but even then, you know, you're never going to be able to get the ultimate top, and getting 15% APR when you're staking it up and letting it compound, it's a really effective strategy in my opinion. So that's what I do. And yeah, now other coins I'm going to be keeping trading now for this week will include Doge. You know, saw a good pump, did crash through. We didn't find any long entries here. We were looking for some longs on the rebound of this resistance. It didn't, it just crashed back down. HBAR, another coin, is still at the strong resistance. Again, if you watch back to our videos, we talked about one entry here at 18. So if it does fall, then we're already prepared. If not, and it does reverse, then we're also prepared for that. XRP resisted this level. Hopefully it crashes down to 0.5. I say crash, it's like a very small drop, and then we'll see a reversal back up. Sui, same thing. I mean, all the altcoins are practically doing the same thing. Small crash today until the S&P probably opens. So yeah, make sure you keep an eye out for that, as the S&P is approaching an all-time high. Now, if you did enjoy the video, please do make sure to like and subscribe. If you need a place to buy, sell, or trade cryptocurrency, then use the exchanges that I personally use. I'll leave them linked down below. When you sign up with my links, you will not only get some sign-up bonuses, but you'll also get lower fees. So yeah, make sure you do it. It's a no-brainer. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye, guys.